Our center has received over 40,000 calls this past year. The number one priority of the dispatch center is officer safety. We have the tools available to us to visually see where all of our officers are statewide, whether they're on the road, on a lake, in the field, in the woods, anywhere in the state of Michigan, we can locate our officers.
I'm one of the proudest law enforcement chiefs in the country. Our officers patrol 9 million acres of public lands, 4 of the 5 Great Lakes, 3,000 miles of Great Lakes shoreline, 36,000 miles of rivers and streams, 11,000 inland lakes, 13,000 miles of recreational trails, and 103 state parks, plus a lot more. They're dedicated and educated in how to do that, and they do it well.
The most common calls that we receive in the dispatch center are about rules and regulations related to fishing and hunting and boating and ORV use within the state.
Our officers are ready for anything the day throws at them, moving back and forth between natural resource protection, fish and game protection, to general criminal law enforcement calls, from active shooters, kidnappings, domestic violence situations. Anything that general criminal law enforcement handles, we can handle.
Conservation officers work from their house, which is unique in law enforcement. Most police officers have to check in at a department or station. Our officers check in from their home. In addition to that, we have specialized training involving enforcement, search and rescue, and a lot of equipment that goes along with that. For example, upon graduation day, you get a brand new Chevy 4x4 vehicle along with four-wheeler, boat, snowmobile. And these tools allow us to get into locations where if folks need or are in distress, that we could take care of them.
The vast majority of our conservation officers' time is spent on fish and game enforcement and natural resource protection.
The Special Investigative Unit of the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Law Enforcement Division is comprised of veteran officers that are at the detective level. Their main mission is commercial poaching or commercial illegal take of natural resources, primarily fish and wildlife. One of the unique challenges of natural resource law enforcement is our victims, we don't have witnesses. Quite often our crimes are without witnesses. So because of that, it necessitates sometimes undercover work to get into these groups, to actually be there when the illegal activity is occurring.
One of the busiest seasons for a Michigan conservation officer is our whitetail deer hunting season. On opening day, we have over 500,000 hunters that are in the woods, with close to 265 conservation officers out on patrol looking for violations and answering complaints.
Some of the common violations that we see during the firearm deer season are shooting from motor vehicles, shooting from trucks on the roadway. Trespass is also a big issue. It erodes the hunting community, and it only takes one or two to make everybody look bad. So the conservation officer, our position is to hold those people accountable to make the protection not only of the resource, but the folks that are out there. Alcohol is always a big factor, or drug use in any type of incident when we're involving large groups of people. So again, we heavily enforce those types of violations.
In 1979, we started our environmental investigations section, which was another first. We became the first law enforcement agency in the country to dedicate a group of detectives to solely investigating environmental crimes.
Environmental investigation section main focus is investigate environmental crimes. So to fall in the law enforcement realm. We do training and train other law enforcement agencies in the academies. However, we do not do rescue or emergency services so much. We are trained to that level. We train law enforcement division. We're available to help out the departments if they need be.
In addition to game and fish laws, we also enforce regulations that control the operation of snowmobiles, watercraft, and off-road vehicles.
We provide boat, snowmobile, and ORV education along with hunter education, which includes bow hunter and trapper ed. I work with and train law enforcement organizations, civilian volunteers, and non-governmental organizations as instructors to train approximately 50,000 students annually in DNR-administered recreational safety programs.
One of the best things about the job is the changing of the seasons. I worked in traditional law enforcement for about 10 years, and it was no 2 days were the same. However, it brings a new concept for no 2 days are the same as a conservation officer. We not only get to deal with the animals and all the general law and violations, but the seasons change too, which in the fall brings our hunting, small game, deer hunters, bear hunters, and then we go to the winter time, which is ice fishing, snowmobilers, to springtime fish runs, turkey season. And then to come full circle would be the summertime, which would be the boaters, the recreators, kayakers, those types of things. So no 2 days are ever the same in this job, and just when you start getting tired of one area of your job, it changes with the season, so it's very nice.
Our officers are some of the most highly trained officers in the state and likely the country. Our officers have the training, expertise, and equipment to do it all seamlessly.